What's happening this week in Warcraft? Pay it Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me live when I'm streaming. It's a holiday week here in the United States, and that means most of Blizzard is going to be out of the office, and we'll be with family, either the 3D fleshy family or our real fam here in game. I'm going to be on this week to hang on stream, and I'll have some giveaways you can look forward to as well, but there is some stuff to go over. Let's start with hotfixes to time warp badge farming. While you can still queue for time walking as low as level 10, you need to be level 30 now in order to get the weekly bonus of time warp badges. Because for a little while now, the meta has been to make a low level character like a level 10, do a time walking, turn it in, and then toss that character aside. This is the answer to the badge change, where instead of getting 500 per character, our first turn-in of the week scores 500, and thanks to warbands, our alts only score 200, and that's on top of the vendor refresh, which features appearances that are much more expensive than in the past. There's a conversation to have on that for sure, but it seems obvious with respect to entering time walking as low as level 10. The intent was to just welcome new players into World of Warcraft and not to give us vets a degenerate path to badge farming. These days it's easier to purchase all there is to get with bronze celebration tokens, and the dump, so to speak, is to buy time warp badges, funny enough. The vendor has been buffed to sell higher denominations of badges for tokens, and as an added tip, I use an add-on called Buy 'em All. It lets me shift click and buy exact amounts of most things from vendors, even ones that require confirmation. A link to that is in the video description. Let's go over some class tuning expected after this coming reset. I'll present the notes on screen on top of some very basic commentary. Blood DKs are getting some needed buffs to the Deathbringer hero tree, while Frost is getting a rebalance to make their single target more effective. Resto Druids are getting a nice little bump to Swiftmend, while Feral is getting increases to their primary abilities. Druid of the Claw Bears are also getting a modest increase to their crits. Survival Hunters were doing a little bit too well after the 11.05 patch, and they're getting toned down a bit. I wonder how Beast Mastery is doing these days. Frostfire Mages are getting some much needed help to make them more viable. I'm still cheering for this hero spec to get good. There are buffs to both numbers and the cooldown reductions to Meteor and Comet Storm. Windwalker Monks have also been underperforming and are getting buffs pretty much across the board. Mistweavers are getting a modest bump to their fist weaving. Lightsmith Prop Paladins are taking some hits, which proves that, hey, see, I told you they were good. Their chance of automatically applying Sacred Armaments is dropping, meaning less holy power to play with to use their Consecration Nuke, which is also having its damage reduced. Overall, it's a fairly significant nerf to damage and even healing, even though that was already kind of limited by mana pools. Nothing that a lot of Copium can't fix, though. Holy Priests are at least getting a nice bump to their Holy Ward spells. The Deathstalker hero talent tree is offering some candy to rogues with some significant increases to their abilities. Elemental Shaman are getting some good love to their main abilities, so much so that even Resto is getting damage increases, but it seems some of that power came at the cost of enhancement, which is getting an overall nerf. Finally, Colossus Warriors are getting buffs to their mitigation, funny enough. These buffs will affect both arms and protection. Time Walking is shifting gears, and this time we're off to Wrath of the Lich King lands, complete with the Ulduar Raid. If you can, do the raid and double up on both the raid and dungeon quests for gear, badges, and maybe a mount. It's not a Spark or Catalyst week, which means it's a week of soft raid nerfs, where you collect enough Nurubar finery from the raid to upgrade your damage and healing by up to something like 9%, up from 7. With the Hall of Fame wrapping up, we can probably expect even more targeted nerfs in time for the 11.07 patch. It's also probably the biggest week for pets in a long time. The Pet Battle bonus event is in play, and thanks to the anniversary event, it's Super Squirt week. Now's the time to level tons of pets for fun and profit. Pan Showdown is the brawl, and over in Mythic Plus World Hotfixes, I pronounce it just like this, are Tyrannical, Fortified, and Voidbound. That's the flavor of the week. This is the one where you basically get a tank popping up, and it taunts the whole group, and you gotta kill it before doing much of anything else. Also today I want to highlight a special achievement coming in the 11.07 patch that you might want to consider working on. This is way better than telling you to blindly prepare for player housing, right? The achievement is called A Farewell to Arms, and it's a big meta achievement and proof you played the heck out of Battle for Azeroth. There are new achievements, but not new in the sense that they added stuff for us to do. It's more like they packed a bunch of existing achievements and wrapped them up in a series of smaller meta achievements. On our way to completing this, you're going to earn a B mount, and at the end you'll get Johnny, at least that's how I pronounce it. The work involved is extensive, and it might be worth checking out your character on the PTR to see your progress. Like here's mine, and we'll go over the very basics, cause there's a lot of sub-achievements. Another little tip, Achievements Back button, very cool add-on that lets you go back and forth when you're looking through these large meta achievements. I'll have a link to that in the description as well. We start with the basics, you just do all the raids and all the dungeons on at least Heroic. Those already exist, no big deal. I'm on Island Time is a big deal though. This sums up all the original Zone achievements, including quests. And for those familiar with Battle for Azeroth, there are 2 major campaigns for both Horde and Alliance, so you'll need to play both factions to get this achievement, among others. Like this is also covered in War Stories, but these are more focused on the main storylines, and like I said, you'll eventually run into this one too. You'll need to get to Revered with most reputations, in some cases Exalted. You'll need to complete many of the Island Expedition achievements too. This one I'm way behind on because I hardly did any islands. Maximum Effort covers Warfront, which will involve a bit of luck getting a group together in the group finder for it. Undersea Usurper and Mechadon are old achievements, but like Island Time, you basically gotta do everything. Black Empire State of Mind is a new achievement that asks for the same thing, but for the 8.3 Visions of N'Zoth zones. Through the Depths of Visions is older, it's the horrific vision meta, including finishing it at its hardest difficulty. Finally, you need to power up a few essences, collect half of the complete transmog sets, and find a bunch of squirrels. It's not so bad, actually. For those of us who played through it before, it's a mountain to climb for newer players, and I'd suggest to those folks to do the achievement for the journey, and not for what to them would just look like another raptor mount. The rest of this week ought to be light on news, but I'm banking on there being an announcement of what's happening in next month's trading post. Let's hope for a bit of mercy and hope that the December trading post leaves the class sets and arsenals up for another month, because, that'd be nice of them. That's going to be it for now, so if you don't mind, please like the video, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Let's have Bob close us out. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy. So I have no song to cover, I'll just tell you what to do. Start the week off right by picking up everything that's blue. Then you check the mail and get sad. Check the table and get mad. 'Cause there's no way a cutie's worth a tender box. But now it's better. Then you do the things you care about. The pressure's all on you. Get to chest for gear and get to more for delves to do. Then you go around your warband. Fly around the new land, then celebrate doing this for another 20 years. Until you're 90. Done.